Here we go. Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to this week's edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Sergeant Stryker, Commissioner Rick Diesel, and Brian Danzig. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this now. Make sure I get this to you, man.
Sorry,
I was distracted. Trying my best to make sure you got this.
let's see here. Try it again. See what we're doing.
Sometimes something is just so good you just can't let it go.
Yeah, and it looks like we might have to let this one go because I keep getting the content available right now.
Why am I watching it? I guess I don't know.
Well, we might be able to. Do you have the option at the bottom of the screen that says share screen? Because if you can watch it, if you hit that share screen, you can share it with us and we can all watch it together. Now, what we're talking about, fans, is there was a show in Burlington, North Carolina a couple of weeks ago where, a gentleman that we're all familiar with in this part of the North Carolina wrestling industry, who's untrained, never had a match, put himself into a battle royal, and it did not end well, to say the very least. And so we're trying to pull it.
Certainly did.
I'm trying my best to get this video to you. I mean, honestly, everybody and their brother's seen it. So,
Yeah.
It ain't like they not know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
True.
It won't let me play it. I don't know why.
Well, damn it. Well, everybody's seen it anyhow.
Yeah.
All right. So
I know I've seen it several times.
and everybody knows this guy's named Mike Rigney. We've seen it. He comes to the show. Mike Emerson.
Yeah, he's changed his name, which he might have changed again now.
Yeah.
Well, he's internet famous now, and not in a good kind of way either.
No. Now look. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and say this, get it out there. He's not a bad dude.
No.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's a good dude, and he got in over his head. He's never been trained, even though he claims that he has. He has not been trained. And I ain't gonna swear that the two guys that threw him over the rope might have not have done it intentionally. Throwing it out there, but he should have never been in there. It should have never been the whole thing. But I don't know if I blame him as much as whoever it was helped him put this show on. They should have knew better.
Yeah.
Somebody enabled this.
Yeah.
And that should have never been done.
No.
So it ain't all his fault.
No.
So somebody, there's more blame to pass around out there because he didn't shit a ring and a building and a sound system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody brought all that there and helped him do this. And they're just as guilty because they should have knew better. If they didn't know better, then they don't need to be in this business either.
Does anybody know if he's all right? Because for those of you who hadn't seen the video, he takes a nasty spill over the top rope and lands head first. Well, his head,
I forgot to ask.
head and neck broke his fall. He landed
on the ring apron.
Yeah, the hardest
part of the ring.
Yeah.
Well, the hardest part of his body is what connected with the hardest part of the ring. So I'm pretty sure he's okay.
But the clip cuts off as soon as it happens. But I've seen two versions of it. Now there's one version that's kind of the most popular one. I think a guy down in Winston-Salem put commentary over it, and it's like starts off with Macho Mania running wild, and he's kind of making fun of, young man pulls his pants up. And when they threw him over the top rope, he went, but I've heard the video with the natural sound, and he did not do anything to enhance the sound that Mike's head made nasty with the ring apron. It did. It sounded like a cantaloupe smashing on a concrete floor. It was rough.
But somebody should have looked at him and said, like I said, I don't blame Mike all the way for this. He's been wanting to get in there for as long as I can remember, and I've known the kid since he was a kid. Like, how long we known him, Brian? 25 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because him and his sister.
So,
yeah. Him and his whole family came to shows for years.
Yeah. So I mean, he's been wanting to do this for a long time, but somebody should have had the responsibility. Somebody should have known enough to look at him and go, dude, no.
Yeah.
Come on.
You're
It's
gonna
not
get
that
hurt.
hard. No, I'm sorry. That's why he would never get in a ring up here. I think he got in a ring and took like 1 or 2 bumps up here one time, and then immediately we was like, no.
Right.
And I mean, to hear the tale and everything, the battle royal is the only match the dude was in that night.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine so with that level of training. You know, I guess he thought he would be okay in a battle royal. I don't know.
You got to go over the top rope. Obviously, nobody taught him how to do that.
Right.
No.
The most dangerous part.
Yeah, because I mean, he at no point tried to, you know, use his arms to post up on the apron or anything. I mean, he just
Exactly. Yeah, that's something you learn very early on. Is if you get thrown out over the top rope, put your arm out to catch the apron to protect your head. He did, and he did not. But I think from what I saw, he held onto the top rope and just wanted to keep holding on to the top rope. So that's why it's like he thought if he held onto the top rope, that would break his fall. But that's not what breaks your fall. You have to let go of that rope and put it on the apron. But he didn't want to let go of the top rope.
Yeah.
And so when he flipped over, of course, because it's something else you learn in wrestling, where your head goes, your body goes. His head went over to the apron, and so that's where his body went, and his hands couldn't keep a hold, and so he bounced off the apron with his head.
Yeah. It was something. I mean, Mike, I hope you're doing all right, but let this be a lesson. Don't ever get in the ring again. Ever. Ever.
No.
If you want to get in there bad enough, train.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is, guys,
Not
they want to get in the ring. No, not with us.
No, we don't want no part of that.
Pay somebody who will set up the ring and show you the basics, but don't just get in there and think you've watched enough wrestling that you know what to do.
Yeah.
Because you do not.
Yeah. You know, I've sat in the stands and watched a lot of NASCAR in my life, but you know what? If I got in one of those cars, I would probably get hurt or even worse, dead.
Oh yeah.
So it just because something looks easy on TV that is done by professional athletes, don't be fooled and think that you can do it.
I've said it time and time before on commentary. These guys are trained professionals and they get hurt. They know what they're doing, and yet they still get hurt. If you get in there and don't know what you're doing, you are guaranteed to get hurt.
These people make $1 million a year in this business, and they still get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
it's a dangerous sport. You have to know what you're doing to protect yourself.
Maybe the moron that helped him put the show on will train him. He seems to be. He sounds like he's pretty gullible. I don't know who done it. I know a lot of people own the show, but I don't know who helped him put on the show. I know who he approached a couple times, and I know some things that didn't work out, but I don't know who he finally got. But I am pretty sure there's some shady bastard out there somewhere that goes, "Hey, Mike, we can get a benefit out of this, brother. Just sell it."
Yeah. He approached me. He approached me about advertising, but when I told him, you know, what the fee was, he never talked to me again. So I guess he was mad. But look,
y'all remember
I got a Facebook message from him, and I didn't respond, but I'm guessing that he was wanting me to be on that show. But I was just like, let's just not open that.
Again, it's not he's a bad dude. He's just misguided.
Right, yeah. I'm just
what I'm saying? He wants something he can't have.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
True. Y'all remember the old commercial where the people are the egg open and fried it in the pan and said, "Kids, this is your brain on drugs."
Oh yeah, those are iconic.
Yeah, we can kind of relate to that video nowadays. Kids, if you see that video, your brain when you're on drugs. Stay away from drugs.
I think it would be a good idea for trainers to take that video and download it and show it to everybody when they're first starting out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you not to do this.
Yeah. What not to do.
Right.
And I was hoping so much that somebody would have got that video to Cornette, because if that would have,
I bet you
Oh,
he
that would have been
he's the only person that had it.
a 20-minute segment about that. Cornette would have lost his mind. Oh my god.
Yeah. It still might make it to him.
It's still
Yeah,
like,
they probably had it.
Well, I mean, from what I hear, it's made it to Japan already.
oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh mercy. Well, anyway, it says it's been a big sports weekend. The Astros won the World Series. You know, the WWE had their big show in Riyadh yesterday. It was, I don't know about you guys, but it was a little bit disappointing to me. I don't know if it was the hot weather or what, but something just seemed off about most of that show. And Joey Logano just won a NASCAR championship. It's been a big weekend in sports, but we had a big weekend last weekend at AIWF Fright Night.
Oh,
Man,
God
I'm gonna tell
bless.
you what. It was not a good night to be a champion at Fright Night. I don't remember that many title changes in one night in years, or maybe ever. There were 3 title changes that night. We got new tag team champions, Sioux Dudes with Attitudes. We've got a new cruiserweight champion. Jay Malachi defeated Dirty Joe. And we got a new TV champion, Matt Anderson, the Ironhead himself, taking down the Panamanian poker, Benny Conley. 1, 2, 3. The only 2 champions that survived the night was Clara and Jack of the Fighters Club. Your thoughts about the strange goings on at Fright Night? It was something else, wasn't it?
well, I was all over the place, so I'll let the guys who were there and seen everything. I haven't seen the video yet. You know what I was doing. I was running all over the place, town to town, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
You guys had quite the interesting day.
It was a Fright Night was one hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
If you wasn't there, you missed out.
Yeah.
As far as, I mean, from top to bottom. But the match of the night for me, women's match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for those of us,
Clara,
those of you on Instagram have already seen that, buddy. That was something. It's funny that you say that, Kevin, because I actually have a video that was sent to me by Clara earlier in the week that I do not think has made it onto any other platform just yet. So if you guys would like to see it, I am going to pull it up right here and share sound, optimize for video clip. And this is Clara after her match Fright Night. Nope, can't hear it.
Asked yet again to put the AIWF women's division on the map. I bled for Mount Airy, and once again, I get no respect. And Jada Stone, she brought me a good fight. I'm a little sore, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm sick and tired of the disrespect because I just had match of the night. I stole the whole damn show. And not one fan came up to me and said, thank you, Clara, for putting your body on the line, for bleeding for us, for putting the women's division on the map. So once again, I'm asking any woman to come step to me because I'm still trying to prove a point and get the respect that I deserve because I am the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion for a reason.
Well, there you have it from Clara, gentlemen. Thoughts on? She's kind of whiny in that. I mean, she said,
you know what? I'm a fan.
I like her too.
She can't. Let me tell you something. She hooked me right there. I'll say thank you, Clara, because Clara right there stepped up and had a women's match in the AIWF Mid-Atlantic in Mount Airy, where she won't have anywhere else. She'll go and have some, roll around, do a few moves, blah, blah, blah for 5 minutes in other companies. But when she comes up here, it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
Because this girl, Josh, our background up here. Brian, Reagan, they all know our background up here.
Mhm.
And she
Yep.
is proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's still here and that she can step up and do what this company up here has been doing for a long time. And that wins my respect right there.
Oh,
She got in there, like she said, she bled and she went hardcore. And that's what we're about up here. That's what we've been about for 30 years up here.
Mhm.
And she's kept the tradition going. I didn't know if we'd ever find another woman that could bring it the way it has been brought here by the women in the past. But we might have a new era and the torch may be passed, so to speak, in what we do up here. And with that, I applaud her 100%.
She's tough as nails. I got no problem with that. But she complaining about the fans not thanking her when she verbally berates the fans at every chance she gets. Not only that, constantly interfering in the Fighters Club matches. And listen, she said, "Oh, I bled for you, Mount Airy." Well, yeah, Clara, you bled because you took a steel chair on the wrong side to the face. I mean, and got cut open right along her hairline. You could see the blood still there,
Mhm. Yeah, you could see the wound. It was pretty significant. At first I thought it was just a little bit of blood there still on her head, but you could see it was the actual wound. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for her. I think she's a very talented athlete.
Mhm.
But if she wants respect from Mount Airy, she's going to have to earn it by, and I know she's not going to want to do this, especially from what I've heard in the back. Her and Jack are, last I heard, were fiancés. But as far as professionally, she's going to have to separate herself from the Fighters Club if she wants the respect that she's asking for.
Mhm.
Because the fans know, no matter how hard she fights, no matter how talented she is, she's got backup. She's got a backup plan. She's got a plan B that's going to be there if things don't go her way.
Mhm.
So that's why she wants to know why she's not getting the respect. That's why. And maybe she knows that in the back of her head, but doesn't want to believe it, or maybe she just doesn't actually see it and is delusional. But that's the bottom line. If she wants the respect that she's asking for, she's going to have to go on her own and face her opponents one-on-one without having 4 other wrestlers watching her back.
Which is exactly what happened when she got hit by that chair, because she got hit by that chair and went ass over tea kettle out of the ring. And the Fighters Club all surrounded her. And you can hear, if you watch the Instagram video, you can hear me speculating as I'm filming that. She's not moving. I think she was knocked out. And, it was an I quit match, so she couldn't quit if she was knocked out, granted. But yeah, she had, 3-4 guys there helping her,
Right.
and covering her up. So yeah,
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Go ahead, Reagan.
Hey, I was gonna turn. I'll say that it took me a long time. I bled a lot in AIWF. I meddled a lot in the AIWF with the family, and I didn't earn respect until I started going up against Brian and Brad. I took them on with Fallen Angel in tag team matches, and Fallen Angel and I, we beat them. We beat them fair and square. There was a huge article in the Journal about us taking them on. Wasn't until I started taking them on and beating them that I started getting the respect. So, you can be a part of a group as a woman, or you can start standing out. And I think she's going to have to make that decision. Is she going to be, because a lot of times fans are just going to see the woman, whether or not you have a belt or not, as a manager, or is just the woman. You're going to have to start standing out when you're a part of a group. And that's eventually what I had to do. Because everybody knew Brian and I we're in a relationship too. And just to bring it on, I hired Chains at one point to take Brian out and try to retire him. And that's when he came back as his 80s gimmick. So that's things you got to think about, especially when you're in a relationship in a group and you want to be standing out as your own person with your own belt. So just a little, I'm old, it's a long time ago, but that, I got the history in the AIWF with it. So, but anyway, that's my 2 cents. So.
All right. Thank you, Reagan. Well, another thing I noticed, I think maybe there's been a shotgun wedding or something that's happened, because if you noticed on Clara's left hand, and I'd be noticing stuff because that's what I do, it was a pink ring. It wasn't a metal band, but it was on the correct finger. So maybe there's something else at work here that we don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, if we're going to put it out there that, because they kind of made it public, they were engaged.
Right.
I mean, so we're going to talk about it, but yeah, I saw the ring on the proper finger. So I'm just saying, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway.
Hey, off topic, somebody in the forum has brought up the name Bad Brad.
Bad Brad, the elusive Bad Brad.
The elusive Bad Brad.
Yeah, man.
Just stay with he'll run from you like he owes you money.
Even if he doesn't.
Oh, mercy. Yeah, where is Bad Brad? The funny thing about it is I could not get the video of the fall we were talking about to play on the computer, but I got it on my phone. So I'm going to show you. This is real high-tech podcasting here. For those of you watching the video, I want to see if I can hold it up here.
Oh, God.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let's see if we can play.
There he goes. Whoa, who's that?
I don't know.
You got to quit talking.
What's the young man gonna do? He pulls his pants up right here. Really come back to
Kiss me every time.
Yeah, that's
Every time I see that.
I know. And I don't mean to applaud, but damn it, if you're going to get in there and you get hurt and you're not supposed to be in there, it's hard for me to feel sorry for you.
Yeah, it's like when fans jump in a ring and the wrestlers beat them up.
Yeah, it's like a fan running in the ring and he gets his freaking face beat into the mat. I don't feel sorry for him no more than I felt sorry for that fan falling on his head.
No, not at all.
My favorite though is when a fan jumps in the ring and the 120-pound ref takes him out. I've seen that a couple of times on WCW.
Yes.
It's like somebody will run in and then Pee Wee Anderson takes him down, gets him in a front face lock, and it's like, man, you couldn't even take on the ref. You better be glad he got to you before the wrestlers did.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it was like, but on the Crown Jewel show, the Usos got a hold of Logan Paul's podcasters and beat them up, and that was kind of fun. I mean, I enjoyed that, for whatever reason. Can you guys see the slideshow now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love to see fans get beat up, and that is just always fun for me.
I'm gonna send you something, Matt.
All right. Let's get into it real quick here. If you want to advertise with the show, you know the deal, man. $10 a month or $6 a week. And if we want to do a video commercial, it's $20 for weekly, or we can produce one and run it monthly for you for $30. Reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com, or any of our other the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page. You can reach out to us via Instagram. This podcast is everywhere, folks. It's airing live on Facebook right now. It'll be up on YouTube later. That'll also be across anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. And some of the episodes actually are going up on the AIWF network on Roku. So very, very nice there. You can follow us on Instagram at AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. and Diesel 24/7. Yes, Rick Diesel is on Instagram, so you can follow him there.
Yeah, I've been kind of slack lately. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You know, I go for days without messing with the Instagram. So if I don't have anything new to add, you just don't put anything out there. But we got something new to add now. Yes, indeed. Veterans Park coming up Saturday, November 12th, which was be this coming Saturday. We've got live action returning. Looks like Paul Perazzi's going to be there. I don't know who else, but important couple of notes here. Tickets prices have been reduced. They're $5 for floor seats, $3 general admission. The doors open at 4 p.m. Bell time is at 5 p.m. Again, special bell time for the winter months, 5 p.m. And that starts this Saturday, November the 12th. And we found out just earlier today, I believe, that Jack is going to be taking on James Anthony for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship. That's an exciting match any way you slice it, gentlemen.
Yes, I'm looking very forward to seeing that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's look. We're 30 minutes into the show. Let me pay some bills right here. Premier Auto Detailing, our newest sponsor here on the program. We can make that jalopy look just like it rolled off the showroom floor. All you got to do is call 336-883-5722. That's 336 for those of you listening, 883-5722. Work in the Mount Airy, Surry County area, and they can do some awesome auto detailing for you. And we'd love for you to give them a call, and we thank them for their support. And be sure when you call them and tell them you heard about them right here on AIWF Ringside Wrestling. All right. Last week, it was Fright Night. This was really interesting match. This was the first time I'd ever seen a match like this. It was called Tombstones, Lanterns, and Casket match. Now, the concept here was really neat. It started out like the rules of a strap match, only there was no strap. You had to incapacitate your opponent and touch all four corners, which had little lanterns in there that the referees operated to indicate how many corners were touched. And then after that, it became a casket match. The casket was rolled to the ring. Chaos ensued. You know, if you weren't there, it's difficult to describe. It was really a good new concept. It's a new kind of match. It combines the elements of an old, like an Indian strap match and a casket match. And I think it could be tweaked a little bit. But Kevin Stryker, you were on play-by-play with Bobby Dalton that night. What did you think of that match? I thought it was really unique and very, very interesting.
Yes, it was very unique and very interesting. I enjoyed that match. It was one of my top three of the night. Both guys put on a hell of a show. Kudos to Sin Crowley for being able to overcome Big Don Petty in that casket match, knowing, good. And the odds were stacked against him. Casket rolled out to begin with, and David Parrish throws some kind of foreign substance into his eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was baby powder is what it was, because I saw it because they were having trouble getting the casket to roll up to the ring, and I was like, here, put it flush against the apron, and then the door swung open, and David, it was Case and Kane was in there. It came out.
Yes, Case and Kane. You're right. Case and Kane.
Because he yelled at Sin Crowley. He said, "Trick or treat," and then a bad word. And so, yes. Oh, okay. There you go. I got the thing here. Yeah, this will be the new poster right here. You see that? Yeah, for the James Anthony Jack match. So, but anyway, I thought it's a unique concept. It's hard. Like every kind of match has been done just about. And so it's kind of nice to see a new match come out. I think the concept behind it's very cool as a specialty match. It needs a little bit of tweaking, but hey, you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And Sin Crowley did have to.
And I'm pretty sure somebody almost died in the first toolbox match we had too, but now it's a staple for extreme content.
Yep, exactly.
Every match and every staple in pro wrestling, every kind of specialty matchup had its first match. There was the first chain match, the first dog collar match, the first cage match. You know, it had to start somewhere. So, you know, this could end up being a staple of Fright Night, and you know, maybe other events as well.
And if you all will recall, not everything works. You know, not everything works. Like, we only hung the guy who looks like Jesus on a cross once in Stewart.
That was
What? What do you want?
That was
Oh, you going home? Oh, well, come in, give me a hug. Bye.
Rose Tyson, everyone.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, see, not everything works.
No, you just give it a try and see what happens.
Yep.
Well, that was I'll never forget that. We billed that as a whipping post match. And and when the whipping post came out, it looked just like a cross that the Romans crucified everybody on. I mean, it did. And when we walked it out, whoever was carrying it, you know, was carrying it sideways at first, but when they stood it up, and it looked like that religious symbol in every church. I remember the crowd noise was like this. It was like somebody just sucked the air out of everybody's lungs.
Now, to be fair, the original structure of the whipping post was a T, was a straight, just had the bar across with the bar on the bottom, and it was shaped like a T. However, when it got set up, they were just trying out setting it up earlier that afternoon, and it fell apart. So they had to reconstruct it, and I think nobody, somebody was like, might have been Big Don or somebody. I'm not really sure who it was, but they just took it around back and fixed it.
Yeah.
And then
Fixed it.
when it came time for the match, they fixed it, but in order to fix it, they turned it from a T and it took from a capital T to a lowercase T.
Yeah. It might have not have been quite so bad if after they hung Brian on it, he didn't put his head down like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, this business has its high and lows, man. We all applauded, but there was a few people in the crowd who were a little taken aback by that one.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't leave out all the racial stuff that we've done between myself and Jackie and Lamont and Steele.
You was in on the watermelon thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it was part of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about that like last week, a couple of weeks ago, where Pro Wrestling Illustrated flat out refused to send that to publish that picture we sent in.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact words. Something about distasteful. Something most distasteful. We will not. But I just remember it was in like the thing about being very distasteful. Jackie Anderson defeated Sweet Daddy, and what was that? Graham, North Carolina, and
All right, Poptown.
Was it Poptown?
Poptown, which where the watermelon was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh mercy. That's probably.
But you know what? I'll give them what nobody said. I'll never forget when Sweet Daddy comes up and says, "I got this idea."
Yeah. I mean, we went straight from, having a full-on execution in Stewart to, a clan-driven riot. And, just a matter
God, I miss the 90s.
Yes.
Oh,
Attitude Era. What Attitude Era?
Yes, that's something. But anyway, moving along, I'm gonna go back to the slide checker for a second.
There you go.
So anyways, T's Creations had some special tumblers and shirts for Fright Night. Rick Diesel, are these still available? Do we know?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, they are still available if anybody wants one. Just hit up T's Creations right there. You'll give them the information.
Yep, absolutely. We're gonna give them all the information. Tees Creations custom apparel. They can customize any t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodies. They make the tumblers now. My wife ended up getting a nice little sweatshirt from them last weekend. You go to the website teescreations22.com. Something's funny going on that I can't see.
There is
because
something funny. Okay. What's funny is Reagan ordered a shirt from Tees Creations, and she told me, she said, I ordered a basic bitch shirt from Tees Creations, and I was like, okay. And then she showed me the shirt.
Hang on a minute. Not you, Brian. You keep talking.
And she showed me the shirt, and it said, it was like a Christmas shirt. It said "Feeling Grinchy," and I was like, and I was confused, and I was like, oh, I thought you literally meant you bought a shirt that said "Basic Bitch" on it. The shirt is the type of shirt that a basic bitch would wear.
Oh, okay.
Liked it and ordered it, you know.
I don't remember her coming up with. See, I sit here thinking, wait a minute, because I got her on the phone now. Because I was like,
right, yeah.
Her showing me a design that said "Basic Bitch" on it.
Right. And I'm like, where are you going to wear that? You know.
So all you basic bitches, head on over to teescreations22.com.
Yeah, I'm sure they Tees Creations could make you a shirt that says "Basic Bitch" if you want it, but they don't have that design on hand right now.
Hey, the reason I called you, Justin, is because Matt needs some updated pictures, like some of your Christmas stuff, so that he can put it in the slideshow when he does your commercial.
Yeah.
I have mock-ups on my website.
Well, he ain't got time to go hunt them. You got to send them to him in a message.
Keller, we were talking about the one I wanted. So
Yeah. Get the Feeling Grinchy shirt. That's the one that Reagan ordered.
She's got one now that says I did a DNA test and it came back I'm 100% Grinch.
So be sure to
Tumblr. Sorry.
So be sure to search the Basic Bitch collection at teescreations22.com or facebook.com/teescreations.
no,
we're putting them over.
I'm not making fun of you.
Because she ordered it. She wanted the shirt.
I wanted this shirt. Now I'm telling I'm talking about how great the shirt is.
Yeah, and
She's bragging about how great the shirt is.
Right.
And Jinky bought a shirt from me last week too.
It's a basic bitch shirt.
For me.
Reagan said that.
Reagan.
I thought Brian said that.
No, Reagan told Brian. I brought you
Reagan
in the
said
middle of the
that.
conversation. Brian was saying that Reagan told him that she ordered a Basic Bitch shirt. And when it come in Grinchy, he thought the shirt was supposed to say "Basic Bitch."
Hey, I can make one that says that.
That's what I was saying. That if you want,
There you go.
That, you can make it. It wasn't the literal shirt.
We're going off the rails.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're going.
Once again, Matt, it's went sideways. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right. That's all right. We're working through it. We'll get everybody's copy ready.
All right, well, send Matt some pictures of your new Christmas stuff.
And don't forget my shirt Saturday.
What? Hang on.
My shirt Saturday.
Ah, she hung up. Basic bitch.
That was a basic bitch move.
And I've been calling Trista that for a year and a half now. Because she always does a stereotypical social media posts, pumpkin nest and Halloween and Christmas decorations up on the 1st of November and everything. So it's fun to tease her about it. But I mean, I'm one to talk. I mean, look, Mr. Slaybill's here on November, so I mean, I got no reason to talk about Christmas decorations, but all right. So
and on the 12th, Matt, since we're on a serious Tease Treats note, on the 12th, they're bringing the pizza.
Oh, the pizza is going to make its debut in Mount Airy.
Yeah, debut show on the 12th.
Awesome. Let's see here. So we got this coming Saturday night. Got that coming up. Guys, I have been, this is kind of an
Oh my
off-topic
God.
show. This is kind of an off-topic show. We've been kind of going in every different direction, right? I have been saving a little piece of video from Star News.
Sorry.
What's going on? You gotta let
I went over to the Mid-Atlantic site and there, you know, where it's behind, we're talking about Bad Brad, and the closed captioning keeps calling him Bad Bread.
Remember the magazine, the first magazine that he was published in, the match results. They put his name as Bad Bread.
Yes.
And the first poster with a TVA on it, instead of violence, it said Violet, like the
Violets.
color. Tennessee Violence Authority.
Yeah.
I mean, they do wear purple.
God,
They
I
do
miss the
wear purple,
90s.
so
Yeah.
They were
Yeah, they did wear
authorities on violet
Yeah.
to get technical.
Well, the first show we
Yeah.
ran at the Bassett Rec Center in the karate room upstairs, the posters that came out for that had JT Sledge as GT Sledge.
Yeah.
And to this day, I can walk up to him if he comes to the show and I'll be like, well, if it ain't old GT Sledge, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about because he was so mad when he saw that poster.
But see, I'm telling you, that's the thing about them posters back then. That was before the internet. Everybody keep this in mind. That was before the internet. So you had to call in this stuff. And if you had a bad connection on your landline,
Yep.
it would sometimes they would misunderstand you, you know. It was either that or you had to, every time they sent you posters, you know, you'd get like an order form and you'd fill it out, and my handwriting sucks. So
yeah, so that's the way it worked. I didn't know that you had to call those in. I didn't know how those went about.
Yeah, those old rainbow posters.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
love those
yeah.
stuff. I've got a couple of those here from the archives. I just haven't put them on the display yet. One with Wahoo McDaniel on it. So
Oh,
all
wow.
right, since we're so far off topic, would you guys mind getting a little more off topic?
Sure.
The reason being,
Why not?
all right,
Might as
so
well.
everybody knows that this show is like a reboot of the old Star News Cable 6 show that Rick Diesel started in Martinsville, Virginia. Okay, well, another thing that Rick Diesel is famous for is he showed it up at the Antique Alley in Reedsville one year and was interviewed by Mark Childry on live TV right in the middle of the street, and was just chit-chatting with him and said something to this woman who was carrying a wooden chicken. And what
it was a big wooden rooster. It's like a 4-foot rooster she was carrying like this down the freaking street, man.
Yeah, and then what did you say to her on live TV right when Mark holding the microphone?
I said, don't you know it's against the law to walk down the street with a cock in your hand?
Yeah. And the color just drained out of Mark Childry's face. Because that was like so close. And look,
even Hayes almost fell on the ground laughing at me.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, see, the Star News station in Reedsville is not a cable access station. It is broadcast. It goes up a transmitter and out onto the free airwaves, which is regulated by the FCC. So that was really scary. That was like, I remember standing there like, and I saw the
that's what Charles Rourke had kind of taught me to do in Martinsville on cable. I didn't know the difference. You know, hey, there's a camera in my face. I'm gonna do something stupid.
Yeah, and so that was like one of the moments that lived in infamy at that time. Well, around that same time, Mark Childry and Ken Eccles had the show Monday Night Live, where they took calls, and it's basically just a comedy show, right? Well, they had hang on a second. I hope y'all couldn't hear that. Could you hear it? No. Okay, good.
No.
All right. So I'm going to play you guys a clip that happened on Monday Night Live long about that same time, about 06, 07 back there. And I just want you to listen closely and follow along with what happened, because this is just some of the chaos. It wasn't only Rick Diesel that brought chaos to Star News. It was the callers sometimes. So if you guys would check this out, I think you'll find it very interesting.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, Mark, Ken. How y'all doing this evening?
Oh,
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Y'all talking about food? Y'all making me hungry.
Well, you can't have this because that's our
Oh,
belonging.
I'm not gonna take your food. You and Ken need y'all's food. I'm not gonna take y'all's food away from you.
Well, thank you.
Y'all need that food tonight.
We'll need it. We need it for energy.
You got that right. Mark, Ken, I got a question I want to ask y'all tonight.
Okay.
I was down on South Scale Street today here in Reedsville, and I was in a laundromat down there, and it was a man that I've never seen before in my life. He come in the other day and he acted kind of strange, and then he left out of the laundromat today, and he went across the street right across from Short Sugars, and he went over there. Well, of course, we just say it's against the law to do that. He was like what you gonna say, disposure. He went over there and saw a man over there today, and the S-man would take the hose and hose him down, and he didn't have on nothing. I mean, that is the craziest thing I have ever heard in my life to go in one town like this. I've never seen that in my life to today.
Wait, let me get this
Washing
straight.
my clothes today down there, and I ain't never seen.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I just want to see if I can piece together the events here.
But that's not in the point. That's not.
No, wait, I want to make sure I've followed this. The man was in the laundromat,
Yes, sir.
and then he went outside and he took his clothes off.
Yes, sir. He went across the road, and the
Went
guy
across the
over there
street.
sprayed him today, and I was in there washing my clothes.
He
You know,
took
hey,
his
look.
clothes off across the street, and then they came and hosed him down.
Yes, sir, and that's bad for people in Reedsville that's washing their clothes down there. They need to close that laundromat down if they can't do nobody. And a woman saw it today. That's really bad for people that have to wash their clothes like that. That's really bad for the public out here.
Who hosed him? I'm just curious. Who hosed him down?
Well, there was some guy from Virginia. I don't know who he was. We were sitting over in the laundromat inside the laundromat today and seen him do that. And we don't understand what's going on, why the man done it. I've never seen this man before. He told me in the laundromat he was from out of town. So, and he had weird clothes on today.
Well,
But you took him off.
Yeah, across the street.
at the car wash.
At the car wash.
Well, now, wait a
And
minute.
then a guy from Virginia hosed him down.
I got to ask you
Sure
this.
what they
I've got to ask you this. Was he in a bay, or did he go through that one that sprays you down automatically?
It's right across the street from
I know where
Short
it's at.
Sugar.
Now, I know that, but I'm saying, which bay was he in? Was he in one of those that you used as with a wand, or did he go into that one that you pay $5 and it does it automatically?
He went with the one where the guy was spraying his shirt down.
wand.
He sprayed him down.
He was being sprayed with a
Yes,
wand.
sir, he sure was.
Kenny,
I don't understand why people say crazy out here. He said he wasn't even from around here. He acted weird today.
well, I'm going to be honest with you. I think a law was broken.
I
Don't you
wouldn't be
think?
surprised.
I expected the law was broken. If the lady saw the man with no clothes on, she could have pressed charges.
There was about 3 or 4 people seeing him today.
I bet.
Did they seem to be
That's
enjoying it?
uncalled for. And you sitting in the laundromat waiting for your clothes to get dried, and you sit there and you see somebody like that, and he was so drunk, you know what he was doing.
All right.
Ken wanted to know. Wait a minute. Ken wanted to know, were they enjoying it?
No, they wasn't.
Okay, well,
That's bad for the public.
well,
I know, well,
thank
we
you.
agree.
Thank you
We
for
agree.
that. Thank you for that report. We appreciate your call.
That's bad.
That's certainly an unusual turn of events on South Scale Street in Reedsville today.
I have seen some crazy things at the car wash, but never seen one quite like that before.
All right.
Would you agree?
Yep. Yep.
By the way,
Is that not one of the greatest phone calls you've ever heard on a talk show
Yes.
in your entire life?
Yes.
So, see,
And you wonder why somebody down there from that area get dropped on their head.
That makes a lot more sense now.
It makes a lot more sense now.
right.
I went straight to the car wash after that.
Yeah, and hose
No,
you
I
down.
just take him across the street from Short Sugars there and hose him down.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, Short Sugars is a barbecue place in Reedsville. I don't know if they even still are Short Sugars still around anymore. Or do you guys know?
No idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah, right across the street from Short Sugars, and they're right about that. That
Pretty
guy,
sure the one guy that lived there probably don't remember now.
yeah, I'm telling you that. And that guy was sincere, but he would see the craziest things in Reedsville, and he was there that day. Rick Diesel made the cock joke on the street, and so that's what I got to thinking about. Fun times we've had in Reedsville over the years. We actually ran a show down there once in downtown Reidsville. Remember that? And Charles came down and we popped a bunch of popcorn and Charles was selling it, right out of the big plastic bag. And yeah, and Mark and I called the matches.
Man.
Yeah, Mark and I called the matches that night. It was crazy.
If there's anybody, if there's anybody that watches this that knows if Short Sugars is still there, please send me or Matt one a message and we'll address that. Whether or not Short Sugars is still in Reidsville on a later show.
Yeah,
he just looks up and he says they're still in business.
Oh, they are? Okay, so Short Sugars is still there. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so, but anyway, next
That's the car wash.
It probably is. Oh, mercy. Let's see.
I'm sure that cock's still floating around in Reidsville somewhere.
She's got it on her front porch, probably showing it to everybody.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Matt, I don't know if you can get us back again. I'm so. Oh yeah, let's go.
Pay some bills real quick. So great service here in North Carolina to help out folks with disabilities is the ARC of North Carolina at arcnc.org. arcnc.org. If you'd like to donate, or somebody that's with a disability, or you have a disability and need some services, they offer all different kinds of advocacy programs and assistance programs, and we'd love to have you reach out to them. They're the ARC of North Carolina. We put people first. arcnc.org. That's arcnc.org. Brought to you by Bill Pauley, because he has been disabled his entire life and got tired of people telling him he couldn't do stuff. So he's been in the wrestling business for several years now, and he's starting over as a referee. And he wants to be an inspiration to those who've been told that they can't do stuff, and because of their disability, and wants to let everybody know that you're not limited by anything. You can do anything that you want as long as you're willing to work hard for it. And that message is brought to you by Bill Pauley. Speaking of which, where has Bill Pauley been? I hadn't seen him in a while.
Was he at Fright Night?
No, I don't think so.
No, he wasn't at Fright
show
Night.
earlier that day. Maybe couldn't make it.
Oh, okay. All right. But anyway, here's another. We talked about new champions. Matt Anderson took out Benny Conley for the television title this past Saturday night at Fright Night. I'll say we don't see a lot of title swaps in the AIWF Mid-Atlantic, but man, that night was not a good night to be champion. Matt Anderson, who does not seem to go long without having some kind of goal. It hadn't been long since he lost the tag team titles, but picked up the TV title from the Panamanian Poker, Benny Conley, and what was a heck of a match. So any thoughts anyone wants to share?
I have a question.
Yes.
Was this Matt Anderson's first singles title with us?
I think so.
He held a singles title before.
I think it is his first singles title. I think he was tag team champion before, but
I know he's been tag team champion with two different partners at least.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure.
Right.
Anybody can answer that question. Just send us a message.
This is the first singles title I have seen him hold. Matt, you talk about that we don't see a lot of title swapping in AIWF Mid-Atlantic, but I think the TV title is the exception to that rule. I've seen it change hands several times, but again, it's just shows the competition that's going after that title, and how badly how badly wrestlers want that belt, is that they keep going after it and going after the person who holds that title has a big target on their back as soon as they win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations to Matt Anderson. Go ahead, Kevin. You got some thoughts?
I was just going to say, this is the Brian hit the nail right on the head with that. This is the first singles match that I've seen Matt Anderson take, or win rather, and not take, but win. And big kudos to him. But yes, you do. People don't think that the TV title means a whole lot when you compare it to the heavyweight championships and the world heavyweight championships. But surprisingly enough, the TV title just as big of a spot on your back, just because for what it is. It's a TV title, so every time you're defending that belt, you're pretty much guaranteed to be on TV. So everybody's coming after that title just so they can get that exposure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a TV championship is not something that, you have non-title matches if you're TV champion. You pretty much have to defend it every time you step out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's something that the TV title is defended a lot more frequently than the heavyweight title.
So congratulations. Yeah, go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
But no, yeah, like it's just defended a lot more often, and so again, it's a lot more opportunity to take the
Hang
title.
on, Phil. Hang on. Hello. Hey.
Why are you acting weird?
Everybody say hey. It's
Hey.
Ginger.
Hey, Ginger.
Hey, Ginger.
Where you at?
I'm at a party.
Woo!
No, you're live on the internet again. Can't
Yep.
tell me you don't do it on purpose now.
Oh my God! I thought you did that on Monday night.
Well, you don't.
No, not
Well,
recently.
you never know with us anymore.
It's my fault, Ginger. I have a weird schedule now.
Okay, well, I'm going to get off you.
Well, what'd you want? Come on, this show's went so far off the rails now. You can't hurt it.
I'm just going to see how the day went, but we can talk about that.
It went good. I mean, I just did my thing. How'd your day go?
All right.
All right. Did you get anything done around the house? Or?
No, not really.
Okay. Just sit there and watch TV all day.
Sunday.
It was Sunday. It's okay.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Somebody's coming in. God dang, there's Mickey Fulp. Hey, we're on the phone with Ginger, Mickey.
That's okay. I'm going to hop off here. Y'all have a good conversation.
Oh, we was. We was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't help it, man.
It's breaking that fourth wall.
Yeah. And that's going to be preserved on the internet forever. Or at least,
Yeah.
or at least till the planet explodes. And on that bright note, let me move along to our first and favorite sponsor, Branch Management, a tree service that operates in the Surry County, North Carolina area. They can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures, normal pruning, easy for me to say, or complete tree removal. They offer very competitive rates and free estimates and are here to serve you. You may also be eligible for a $100 referral bonus. All you got to do is give them a call at 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994 for more information or to set up an appointment for the tree service. And they also offer gutter cleaning, landscaping, and pressure washing services. And that's a different number. You're going to need to dial 336-648-2487. That's 336-648-2487 for the landscaping and the pressure washing service. And again, for the tree service, that's 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. Thank you, Branch Management. All
And
right.
speaking of walking down the street with a cock in your hand, Mickey Fulp has joined the party.
Hey, listen. So I joined in right before you did that ad for Branch Management, Matt, and all I heard was Trista say, "It was nice talking to you," and then you said, "Well, that's going to go down in internet history." So I
That
want
wasn't
to know
Tristan, that was Ginger.
Yeah, that was
what
Ginger.
in it was Ginger. I'm sorry. Okay, I just heard a female voice, and as much as Rick Diesel likes to annoy his daughter, I just figured it was her.
No,
No, Trista's
Trista
already
was about
called
10
in.
minutes ago.
Yeah, she called in earlier.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
You missed Trista's call.
what in the world happened to where Matt had to say something along the lines of, "This is going down in the history of the internet forever"?
Oh,
Did I miss
Just
something?
this show, actually. This show is just
said it's
far
gonna be
off the damn
archived.
mark. We've done wrapped around a tree and come back.
yeah, if Ginger had any idea how widespread, how many different formats the audio of this show goes on to, I think she'd be a little freaked out.
Probably.
Yeah. And dozens and dozens of people will hear it. So
That's right.
But
Maybe even somebody she knows.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, mercy. But no, we were just, the show kind of did get off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, try to get it back, Matt. Come on now.
Well, let's see here. We talked about, and of course, just again, remember, we got pro wrestling this Saturday night at Veterans Park. Only $5 for floor, $3 for general admission, but important to remember, bell time is at 5 p.m. Special winter hours.
That's our winter. We do this through the winter because, we know, we know that people have a tough time during the winter, and they have to choose a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Being able to go out and do things with a family, get out of the house every once in a while. So we decided a couple of years ago to do these 5 o'clock bell times. Now we decided to lower some ticket prices. We've pissed off some other promoters already about it, because I don't think they like the fact that, we're doing that now. Fans going, well, why ain't everybody else doing this? So, but, and not to mention the fact there's other things that we'll address to the crowd Saturday night about why we do it as well.
Yeah. But we were talking earlier about Clara and Jada Stone's I Quit match. Here's some footage I took directly for Instagram, and I'm sure you'll be able to see the rest of it on AIWF Network very soon with Bobby Dalton and Sergeant Striker's commentary. But if you want to head on over to our Instagram account, you can see that. It was a wild match. And
James Anthony chairs.
James Manson chairs. There's the name for the past.
James Anthony. I got them little
James
tiny
Anthony.
chairs for James Anthony one time.
Oh,
Yes, I remember.
I was thinking of Frank Manson. I don't know. Remember him?
They would have been made out of like cardboard if it was James Manson.
Have you seen James Manson lately? He looks like a freaking hillbilly, man.
That was wrong, Manson.
Hey,
We've had a couple of Mansons in here because,
Yeah.
murder show and all.
Matt, on a serious note, man, you're talking about the Clara Jada Stone match. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I have seen, the fans on Facebook. I saw a post that night that said Clara has bigger balls than Jack does, apparently, after that performance. Whatever Clara did, it seems like maybe as much as the fans of Mount Airy hate the Fighters Club, after Saturday night, they might be Clara fans.
I know I am. I've
Yeah,
addressed that there already.
I mean,
If you
I
had,
don't like the whiny attitude that she has about not getting respect from the fans, like Brian said, but she may have to separate herself from Jack to get that respect. Who knows? But nevertheless, as a commentator and as a retired wrestler myself, sitting there commentating that play-by-play with Jada Stone and Clara, that was, to me, by far the best match of the night.
I
I
agree.
heard
It was a
several
great
people say that match stole the show that night. But like I said earlier, to all the other women out there, Clara is stepping up to the traditions of the AIWF in this area. And if you're coming up here, this ain't gonna be one of those little girls matches down, where you have it other places. You come up here, you better be packing some damn fight in you. Tie your shoes tight, put your hair back, get ready for a fight. Because this is AIWF Mid-Atlantic, damn it. And in 2023, I feel like there's going to be some serious shit going down.
And hey, we're sitting here talking about so good about Clara. What about Jada Stone?
Stone was awesome.
Made her AIWF Mid-Atlantic debut. Made her debut at Fright Night. Answered Clara's open challenge.
Yeah.
Jumped in an I Quit match the night of and went out there. And I would, from what I understand, there were plenty of times where she almost won that championship. I feel like at some point, whoever's in charge, they need to give Jada Stone another shot at that title against Clara. I mean, because I've seen that girl a couple times. Jada is a hell of a professional wrestler. And I think right now, if there's anybody who could take that title off Clara, it's Jada Stone.
And I stand
I
corrected,
agree.
Vicky. I'm glad you
I
brought
agree.
that up because I was so hung up on Clara. I forgot it does take two people to have a match that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jada Stone
Yeah.
is awesome. And if you guys you want to head over to the Instagram account so you can and listen and hear the I was showing you the clips on a small screen here, but I mean, it was brutal. It was really, really brutal. And it was, we had looked forward to it, because Clara doesn't have a plethora of opponents that are wanting to come into the Mid-Atlantic and face her. So we were getting to see a title defense, and then we found out it was an I Quit match. Oh man, and these girls came ready for battle, and they did. They tried to kill each other, but I think I think that there's some kind of past between these two because the way they were talking to each other, it's almost like they may have gone like through a training camp or two and know each, I don't want to say friends, but maybe acquaintances before.
Interesting fact, Matt, since you brought that up, you might have seen on Facebook, AML ran a Future Stars AML show at 2:00 last Saturday, the same day we ran Fright Night. Clara and Jada had wrestled each other that day. Who won that match? I don't know. But Jada Stone came up and she wrestled Clara twice in one day. Once in just a regular singles match earlier in the day, and then came back and had that I Quit match. And we're talking about Clara. I mean, she's on the poster for this Saturday, so I heard she's doing another open challenge. So we might have another women's title match this coming Saturday.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really do. And hopefully we will be able to announce to you something in the next couple of days, and maybe get some match announcements out there. I'd love to see what's going to happen.
Well, hey, if you've been paying attention to the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page, last night there was a video put up with Jack. Are you going to play that, Matt? I've not been watching the podcast. I don't want to spoil anything if you're going to play that.
Well, I kind of thought about it, but that will make me go ahead and do it. So let me get back off of this video that we just played of Mark Childry and Ken Eccles. Yeah, Jack put up this video. He's going to be taking on James Anthony. But this is kind of weird how this happened. Let's see here. Let me find it. Get my control panel back up here. Live to tape, everybody. There's no post editing in this show, as you can tell. Let's see here. And right here it is from the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Facebook page. Let me make sure everything's set right. All right. And let's hear from Jack.
2 former Mid-Atlantic champions. And I've been.
Oops. Looks like when you enlarge it, it pauses it. So let's drag it back to the beginning and action.
Last show, I beat 2 former Mid-Atlantic champions. And I've been thinking ever since I called out Damian Wayne, I got to do a little bit more, don't I, to get that bum's attention. So what I'm going to do this coming up Saturday, I'm going to put my Mid-Atlantic championship on the line. Not to just anyone. Anyone that is a former...
Whoa. Calling out former champions now. So you think you can just beat anybody that's a former AIWF champion?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You're still kind of new to this whole wrestling game. And I don't think you really know what you're getting yourself into with Damian Wayne. But, hey, man, that's your business. But I'm free next Saturday. So you got the guts, champ. I'll see you next week.
All right, short stack. I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay.
Short stack.
There's anybody that can back that statement up.
No kidding. Well, anyway, thoughts. So Jack has made it clear that he wants to go after Damian Wayne, and now he's got the attention of James Anthony, who we don't see that much in the Mid-Atlantic anymore. But he's coming back, and that is going to be happening this Saturday night. It'll be Jack taking on James Anthony for the Mid-Atlantic title. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, James Anthony, he has held several titles up here, tag titles, singles titles. If there's anybody, I'm not 100% for sure that we'll have a new champion after the next Saturday, but James will give him a run for his money. I mean, he's wiry little rascal.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Nancy.
Yeah, if he is trying to get the attention of Damian Wayne, one way to do it would be defeating James Anthony this Saturday. That would put him just a little bit more on the radar, even more so. It's one thing to win the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. It's another to defend it against top contenders. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's the man makes the championship. The championship doesn't make the man. You have to put that belt on the line and against top tier contenders. And so far, that's exactly what Jack has done.
Kevin Stryker.
Yeah, Brian, you're exactly right. And one thing too, he can't overlook James Anthony to get to Damian Wayne. If he wants to put Damian Wayne on notice, then he's going to have to come in focused that night. But he can't be thinking about putting Damian Wayne on notice. He needs to worry about how he's going to take care of James Anthony that night. And James Anthony is a fast, wiry little rascal, just like Rick Deal said earlier, that I don't know if Jack's been in the ring with anybody as quick as James Anthony. So that could play in a factor as well.
Mickey Fulp, your thoughts?
Well, I've shared the ring many times with James Anthony. I mean, he's one of the best going. I mean, he's a former Mid-Atlantic champion. Jack wanted a former Mid-Atlantic champion to challenge him Saturday night. I mean, I don't think there's many other people that could be better right now. We haven't seen James Anthony in Mount Airy in a long time. It's going to be good to see him again. But I don't think my biggest fear for Jack, and everybody knows my history with Jack. I don't like Jack. But my biggest fear for him as a young wrestler who's he wins his first title or his first heavyweight title or two of them within a year, and he's defending this one Saturday. My biggest fear for him is that he's going to overlook James Anthony because he is so hyper focused on Damian Wayne. And James Anthony is the type of guy you don't overlook. You never overlook James Anthony. He has tricks up his sleeve. He will do anything he can to win a match, So if I was a betting man, I'd have my money on Jack. But I wouldn't count out James either.
Nope.
Right. Mickey Fulp, we were talking earlier. We actually started off the show with the video that's gotten a little famous around the internet.
Sorry, I already know what it is.
Yeah,
He already knows
because of technical difficulties. I'm not able to show this on the presentation here. I'm gonna have to do it kind of old school here and just hold my phone up to the camera. But I'd like you to watch this and give us your comments.
There we go. Yep. Make sure to pull up them pants before you just slowly back up into the ropes. Oh, he doesn't go over. And now he goes over and he breaks his neck. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Well, that's a familiar face right there, isn't it?
Yeah, we've kind of, but I wanted your thoughts on it because you sent out something on social media, that said Mike Emerson is all elite, and which made me spit water out of my nose. I thought that was just like, I almost thought that was better than the original video. They definitely went together like peanut butter and jelly, and so I just we talked about earlier, how if you've not been trained, you shouldn't get into the ring. Does anybody know if Mike's okay? Have you heard anything?
Well, first, I guess I'll give my thoughts on the whole thing. Just a little insider information. I'm not going to go too much in detail, but I know for as long as Mr. Emerson, Mike, has been talking about wrestling on this benefit show, which there's a whole controversy about that too, about where the money's went that I've seen. I can't confirm nor deny that. I wasn't at the show. I'm not going to sit here and say that he stole money. I'm not like everybody say. I can't, because that's not my place, because I wasn't there, and I'm not going to be the person to spread misinformation. But I have seen it on the internet from a couple different people. But the one thing that I just want to say is, for months, I know plenty of people who know Mike personally, that guys who are in the business, whether referees, managers, wrestlers, whatever, have been telling him for months, do not get in the ring. You have no business being in there. If you want to run the show, fine. Nothing wrong with that. And he didn't listen to anybody. And why I'm making jokes about it and I'm having fun with it is because I am a firm believer in, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So you got told for months by professionals, people who are trained to do this, not to do it, and you did it anyway. Okay, well, you went out there and broke your damn neck. I don't feel bad for you. I genuinely don't. So, and on top of that, I've always thought Mike was an idiot, but and that's beside the point. I mean, I've never really thought he was the smartest man in the world, but just the whole situation. The best way to put it is, like I said earlier, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If he broke his neck, I heard he broke his neck. That's what I heard. He really did. But I do know some people have told me that there was some drama around the show with his family trying to fight some of the wrestlers, and the show. It was a 16-match card.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. If anybody knows anything about
30-minute matches, or did it go till 2 a.m.?
He said, this is what I got told. I got told that the original card was 16 matches, and that battle royal, I believe, was like 4th or 5th on that card. And they called it off.
At the Regional Armory?
No, I think they ran it in Burlington.
Yeah, I think it was in Burlington.
Okay.
But they called it off after that. And from what I understand, the wrestlers on the show were saying, like, hey, let's just continue with the show because there's people who paid to come watch this show. And then that became an issue. I don't know. Like I said, this is secondhand information. I'm just saying what I got told. I wasn't there, obviously. I was in Mount Airy that night, where guys who have never been trained or were not in the ring breaking their necks. So,
I'm sure
I'm glad
there'll be somebody in Mount Airy next week that was at that show, and they'll be telling something, I'm sure.
I might not be
Caden Pierre was there. So
Caden was there.
Pierre was there. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get bombarded with a lot of questions. But I mean, again, my biggest issue with the whole thing was Mike had been getting told for months and months and months, don't do it. And he did it anyway. And he went out there and he got hurt. And thank God it was him who got hurt and not one of the wrestlers. I genuinely feel bad for those two guys who were, who dumped him over, because I think they're getting a lot of shit when they seem, I don't know the two guys. I couldn't recognize them from videos, but they seem like two guys who are new to the wrestling business, and they were just taking a spot on a show where they could get it, and I feel bad for them because I think they're getting a lot of shit for it too. And they shouldn't. They didn't know any better. It's not their fault. It's his fault. Anybody who knows how to, pulling the curtain back a little bit, I don't mean to. I don't like doing that. But anybody who knows how to go over them ropes ain't going to go over like that.
No, that's what Brian and I were talking about earlier, especially on the apron. That's the hardest part of the ring.
If you are trained to be a professional wrestler, you know how to go over them ropes that way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but he's not, and he's never had a day of training, and he just thought, hey, I'm going to go out there and do it. If they can do it, I can do it too. No, you can't. You cannot.
No,
you can't.
I
may not be a smart man, but I know what a broken neck feels like.
Well, he definitely knows what it feels like now. That's damn sure. I mean, so, but that, I goofed on
there is
guys
a Holiday Inn Express in Burlington.
Right. But like I said, I goofed on the guy for a couple days. It was funny. for a little bit, you know, but I kind of got that mindset just from reading other people talk about it. It was one of those things like, and it's one of those things I'm going to think about going forward. Let's start promoting the good shit that happened in wrestling rather than the bad shit, because there was a lot of good wrestling that weekend that nobody's talking about because they want to talk about what happened with Mike and Burlington.
Wrestlers on that show, and there were some good wrestlers on that show.
Absolutely,
there were some real good workers on that show that gave their time for that weekend for a benefit that they thought they were working for a benefit. I mean, you said Caden was there, a great worker who works great matches, who is a great worker who gave his time to a benefit show. So sorry.
Yeah, you had guys. No, you're absolutely right. You had guys like Caden there, we all love Caden. Caden's great. You had guys like Aubrey Wright who was there. You know, Aubrey's a hell of a wrestler. We love, you know, whether you love or hate Aubrey, you got to give him his due. And same thing, Jeff Paul. Jeff Paul was also there. Yeah. He was one of the ones that actually, from what I understand, that Mike's family tried to fight for real. What he did, I don't know. God only knows what Jeff Paul did, because Jeff Paul's Jeff Paul. You know, and he. By the way, there's another one that's going to be there Saturday. You know, but you know, it's one of those things. It happened. And I don't think anybody feels bad for him, especially the people who were at least close enough to the situation to know that he planned on wrestling. And, you know, one thing I do want to address is his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is. She made this big, long live video. I got a clip of it. I can't see it on my Facebook because I'm not friends with either one of them on Facebook. But somebody sent me a clip of it. And she said something along the lines of, you know, guys in WWE all the time, they break, you know, when they break their necks and nobody makes fun of them. Well, you know, I just want to say my rebuttal to that is professionally trained wrestlers. Yes, sometimes they do break their necks. It happens. Sometimes they get hurt. But the difference between them and Mike is they're professionally trained, and what happens to them is a freak accident. What happened to Mike is something that could have been easily avoidable if, one, he at least went and got some proper training before he did the show. Or two, he just didn't do it at all. He's not a professional wrestler. He's not trained. And what had happened to him, there was a larger chance of him breaking his neck with no training than, you know, a professionally trained wrestler breaking their neck, doing that same spot. So it's just one of those things. Again, I don't feel bad for him. I goofed on him. It is what it is. It happened. But I think, you know, I think us in the wrestling community need to start talking about the good match. Like, that same night, we had Fright Night. We had, like we were talking about Clara and Jada Stone earlier. I feel like we as a community should be talking more about Clara and Jada Stone in that match they had in Mount Airy, or just any other show that happened that night. We should be talking about the good shit that happened on there rather than, you know, Mike being a fucking goof and, excuse my language.
No, that's fine. I'll mark it explicit. It'll be fine.
I realized that as soon as I said it, but we should be talking about the good stuff and the good matches and the good people in wrestling rather than the idiots who think they can do it and figure out the hard way that they can.
The reason I brought it up originally is because we play superhuman clips on this show sometimes and all that kind of stuff. I am trying to point out to people that this is just like any other professional sport. Because the people on TV make it look easy does not mean you can do it. And just the comparison I made earlier was I watched a lot of NASCAR races on TV and go to a lot of them. But you know what would happen if I got in one of them? I would get hurt or killed, you know, because I don't know what I'm doing. And that's exactly what happened here. It's a cautionary tale. The reason, and for her to say a comment like, oh, people in WWE get broken necks all the time. That is not true.
Yeah.
Most injuries in WWE are like knees, elbows, you know, stuff like that. It's very rare somebody gets a broken neck. Then they might have vertebrae issues, back problems, stuff like that. But, you know, people do not get broken necks all the time. That is just, that is false.
Right.
The last person
it does happen. It does happen rarely. But again, like you said, Mickey, it's a freak occurrence because those are professionals who know what they're doing.
On another note, I have no idea where Mickey Fulp is walking to, but if he gets there before this show's over with, I'm really interested to see where it's at.
Well, see, I have this bad problem when I'm on my phone and I'm talking. I just pace. I do it like Rick.
I'm like,
you
man,
think like every time Rick,
maybe he's going to the
anytime you call
store.
me, anytime you call me, I walk around my house and pay. I don't know why I do it. That's just what I do.
I do
I
that.
know
when I'm
I do it. You see what I do? I got to have something in my hand just so I'm so fidgety. But I didn't know if you was going to the store or, you know.
No. If I believe it or not, I actually have a vehicle that I can put the keys in and drive if I need to go anywhere. So
I saw that light behind him going around in circles, so I figured that's what he was doing, was pacing. I was going to ask him to stop because it was making me dizzy, but then I kind of got hypnotized by
Well,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
he probably can't because he's probably about half drunk like he is any other day.
Well, that's a
Believe
pot
it or
calling the
not,
kettle
no.
black.
Hey, Striker, are you Jewish?
Huh?
Are you
For once in
Jewish?
my life,
Oh, good
for once in my
Lord,
life, I'm
Rick.
not half drunk.
What? Are you Jewish?
Who's Jewish?
Am I
Sergeant
Jewish?
Striker.
Striker?
He got a menorah on his wall.
I thought that looked like a menorah too. I was
What
like,
are you talking about?
Shalom,
That's
brother.
Brother, there ain't no
Hanging up
shalom.
the wall.
Kevin Stryker's
That's just
decor.
my
That says
Dustin
America.
Rhodes poster, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right, I'm
America.
just checking,
Striker,
man.
I
I know.
thought you talking to me. Shit.
America on it.
Screw it. I mean, you know, like I said, we can't keep this show about wrestling to save our damn lives anyhow. So let's just go wherever it takes us.
Speaking of, I'm trying to get my wife to let me burn a menorah this year for Hanukkah, but she's not a fan of me and having open flames all over the place. So,
Maybe get an electric one.
yeah, I know, right? Like, she's like, I'm nervous of you with you around one candle. I'm not gonna put 9 on an elevated perch and let you just sit it on a kitchen table, right?
Get you one of them Bray Wyatt menorahs. It's got the little switch on the back of it.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's see here. Let me pay some bills real quick. We got to get our last sponsor in, and our most delicious one, Tease Treats, is a food truck based in Mount Airy that is available in most parts of the state and can be at multiple locations at the same time. They have a full menu, including hot dogs, chicken, milkshakes, ice cream, and now pizza, funnel cakes, and mini donuts, which are absolutely delicious. You can visit them on facebook.com/tease treats, or you can give them a call at 336-755-8204. 336-755-8204. We found out that Tease Treats this weekend at AIWF Wrestling this Saturday night at 5 p.m. special bell time is going to have the pizza oven. Pizza will be available for the fans in Mount Airy. So the best concessions in wrestling just got better. Rick Diesel, where's Tease Treats going to be this week?
Hang on, man. Let me think. Well, we got show Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something weird Sunday.
Something weird Sunday. Okay.
I ain't got a clue where it's at.
But anyway, 336-755-8204. And
go check out the Facebook page. It tells me she puts it on there all the time.
Yeah, facebook.com/tease treats for the latest schedule updates. And so the pizza will be there. It's a big weekend. So we've got November 12th coming up. Then I hear in December, we're going to be running Seasons Beatings on New Year's Eve this year is what the talk is. Is that correct?
I've heard that. Yes.
That's a rumor going around. So
and at 5 o'clock bell time, everybody can come to that and still make it to, whatever their New Year's Eve festivities are.
My in-laws,
double shot that night.
My in-laws from Phoenix are going to be in town that week, and I'm going to see if I can't drag them kicking and screaming up there. I think my nephew would get a kick out of it. My niece she's a senior in high school this year, so she's going to be bored to death. But I think she can push through. But anyway, so here we are, folks. We've about covered everything. It's been a huge sports weekend. Did anybody get to see the WWE show in Riyadh?
I didn't.
Nobody. Okay. Well, I got to give Logan Paul credit. I thought he did a great job, and it was sure fun to watch the Usos beat up his friends. That was probably the best part of the match. The rest of that show, maybe it was on at a weird time. It was like wrestling from noon to 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Maybe it's just not.
Oh, Mid-Atlantic, man.
Yeah, but Mid-Atlantic was on and off in an hour,
That's true.
So maybe I should have waited and watched it later at night, when I normally watch wrestling. I don't know. It might that's probably what it was.
It'll be on the P-Crotch.
Yes, it is. It's there. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, man. They have a bunch of great shows on that thing, Peacock. It's not only your wrestling, but they got old TV shows, old episodes of Johnny Carson. I mean, you basically get the NBC lets you go into their archives all the way back to the 50s. So it's pretty cool service.
Thanks for our lives getting real steamy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now that they're not on network TV, they're letting loose.
Oh wow. So oh, okay. So Days of Our Lives is not on over the air anymore. They're exclusively on Peacock.
Yeah.
You do know that's where Trista got her name from, don't you?
From Days of Our Lives?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Everybody bring that up to her next time you see her. So I heard you was named after a character on Days of Our Lives. Yes, it was.
Oh, you also left out the big name that is on AEW now.
Oh, I'm sure I'm sure that I did not talk about AEW on purpose, Reagan.
I didn't talk about him on purpose.
Who are we talking about?
Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, that's great, man. Maybe Tony will let him book it.
No, they say that he's going to be helping them with get their live shows going, get some more live house shows and stuff. So, and he's had a history of conning gullible promoters into promoting his stuff for him. So he should do real good.
Yeah, he's a Memphis guy.
He got a bunch of promoters sucked into Global Force and let them bring them in, boy. Global Force versus you, and we'll make you a ton of money. All you got to do is do the legwork, and we'll take all the credit.
Man, I want AEW to succeed. I do. Look, I've said it before, rising tide lifts all ships. And during the 90s when wrestling was super hot, we had the biggest crowds. I'm telling you, if the national promotions are doing well, the indies will do well. It's all cyclical. So I want it to work out well. But I've been to AEW in person. And until something drastically changes over there, I ain't giving them not one damn another dime of my money. I mean, because it's just overall, it's not good. They're good.
See, we'll have to agree to disagree.
No, wait a minute. I'll say this: there are a lot of good things about it, but yeah. And look, I'm no WWE fanboy either. There's a lot of improvement that needs to be done there. But that's just my humble opinion for whatever it's worth. Not much.
I don't ever have time to watch any of it.
And there is a lot of wrestling on now. We've talked about it before, but wrestling is on every night of the week except Thursday because they don't want to compete with Thursday night football. But I mean, it's on. There's no way anybody could watch all the wrestling that's on.
No.
And it's incredibly hard to keep up with. There's just so much of it now. Just like there are wrestling podcasts, just a ton of them. And we are the ones here at Ringside Wrestling who saw an overcrowded marketplace and said, me too. And so here we go.
Let's jump in there with them.
Yeah. Well, there's 500. We're going to be 502. Yeah. So. But anyway, so look, we've been going quite a while here. Any final thoughts before we go?
Just the only final thought that I have is kind of like the thing that myself and Bobby Dalton address every time on the when we do color commentary. Not at the AIWF shows live, you don't know what you're missing. So please, within the sound of this voice, not only just come out to AIWF live, but any local independent organization that may be in your area, go out and support them.
Get out and support indie wrestling. Brian Dads, are you getting final thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to this Saturday. Hate I miss Fright Night, but I'm really looking forward to seeing all the action. this upcoming Saturday, and hope to see you there.
That one's going to be awesome. Mickey Falk.
Well, I just will say, if you ain't got nothing coming on or, going on Saturday and you're in the Mount Airy area, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to come to our show. 5 o'clock bell time. By the time the show's over, you'll have plenty of time to go out and go to a bar or, whatever you want to do. But concerning this Saturday, me and Joe Harrison are your new Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions. We're looking to defend the tag team titles. And I was looking at the poster and I saw Jeff Paul and Paparazzi are going to be there, the team known as Paparazzi. And I just want to say, hey, if you boys ain't got your match booked yet, hey, me and Joe have talked. We'll happily defend those tag team titles against Paparazzi.
All right.
Be a good matchup.
Challenge issue.
Yes, it will.
Wow.
Rick Diesel.
How can you say no to it?
Rick Diesel, any final thoughts, sir?
No, my head's empty.
Rick Diesel's head's empty.
That's a first. That's a first.
Well, yeah,
We've been talking for an hour and a half, man. I can't think of nothing else to say.
Yeah, this show's kind of been crazy, wild in every direction. So it's been a lot of fun, but we look forward to seeing you at the matches. Remember, special bell time, 5 p.m. and lower ticket prices. Only $5 for ringside, $3 get you in the bleachers. Be sure you join us. Doors open at 4 p.m. Bell time again, 5 p.m. at Veterans Park this Saturday night for AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. So, for Sergeant Stryker, Brian Danzig, Mickey Falk, Rick Diesel, I am Mad Matt Carter. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ringside Wrestling. We'll see you again next week, fans. Until next time, so long for now.